assignment of Kelsey Mitchell right now. Clark, little step back.
You know, huge for our group. It's just one at a time. I thought we've done a really good job of that over these first 2 games.
Seconds to go. Here's Clark off the screen. The three-pointer is good.
You've seen Caitlin Clark light up the scoreboard, but did you know 2 huge mistakes could send the Indiana Fever's playoff dreams up in smoke? It's a twist no one saw coming, and it's got fans on the edge of their seats. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. First, let's discuss trust. Everything matters in basketball. When a coach's decision sends a message of "I don't believe in you" to their best player, what happens next? It may have cost them more than just a single game, but that is precisely what happened in Indiana. Imagine this. Rising sensation Caitlin Clark of the Fever has possession of the ball. No one is occupying the court. An opportunity to make a play that changes the game has presented itself. However, a whistle suddenly breaks the silence. It is time for a break, according to Coach Christie. Sides. Are you sure? Indeed, you are correct. Sides slammed on the brakes at a time when most coaches would have let their top players shine. Believe me when I say that not only the crowd were taken aback, but everyone. A look of bewilderment crossed Clark's face.
Seconds to go. Here's Clark off the screen. The three-pointer is good.
That was good. They're like, "You want to go in the back?" I'm like, "No, please, just tape right here. Let's go. We gotta keep going."
Clark.
You may be asking, well, what's the big issue? It's only a timeout. However, time is crucial in basketball. Timeouts like this one weren't common. This halted the forward progress, possibly a game influencer. The positive kind, that is. This timeout was extremely dangerous for the reasons given below. Giving the opposition team a chance to recover is the last thing you want to do when your greatest player is in a prime position. Those breaks? It accomplished that very thing. The other team was able to regroup, change tactics, and maybe even turn the tables on us during that time. Even worse, though, is to come. A turnover might have resulted from a timeout being called under those circumstances. I see. The Fever might have blown a golden opportunity to score or get a foul instead. There was quite a change in the train of events. Furthermore, it is important to remember who is being discussed. No ordinary player can compare to Caitlin Clark. On this squad, she excels at making free throws. Sides basically snatched the ball away from her star player by calling that timeout. In a close game in the 9th inning, it's the same as instructing your best pitcher to take a seat. It is completely illogical. The nature of the relationship between Sides and Clark is called into doubt by this choice. An important part of being a good basketball coach is building trust with your players. However, this break, an obvious lack of trust is evident. Somehow Sides was trying to convey the message, "I don't trust you to make the right decision here, Caitlin." Consider how that may affect Clark's self-assurance. With regard to the spirits of the squad, regarding how they fare in critical future situations. In the high-stakes world of professional basketball, even a single timeout can have far-reaching consequences, impacting more than just that one game. All the X's and O's don't matter here. This is a psychological piece. Team chemistry is key. Finding that sweet spot where you can guide your players while still allowing them to shine is key. In this particular instance,
So, I don't know, it reminded me of the technical that I got in college where I said, "Damn it," where it's like a personal frustration. Incredible. 15 rebounds, 9 points, 8 assists. That guy's really good. Ezzy's really good. Like that's a tough match.
It appears as though Sides may have skewed that equilibrium. Excuse me, sir. The coach's timeout was horrible, right? Clark, it seems, has her own problems to face. The star player for the Fever recently turned down a fantastic opportunity, which has shocked the basketball world. The worst part is that this is about more than just a single missed shot. It concerns Clark's mental state and has the potential to ruin Indiana's hopes of making the playoffs. Envision this. It all comes down to this. No one is occupying the court. I have the ball, Clark. A star player can really shine in this setting, but she passes the shot instead. Are you sure? Indeed, you are correct. The Fever's scoring machine, Caitlin Clark, passed the ball up when she could have easily scored. I know what you're thinking. So what? All the time, players are passing. However, this is not your average pass. Something is seriously wrong in Clark's world, and this is a warning sign. Both supporters and experts experts are perplexed by it. What happens when a top performer starts to doubt oneself is like observing a tightrope walker without a net. Everything may fall apart with just one misstep. The Fever may have to say farewell to any playoff aspirations they had after that accident. But with a chance like this, why would Clark let it slip away? Well, it's more complicated than that. This choice cuts to the chase, touching on the very essence of a player's motivations. Here, self-assurance, or rather a severe lack thereof, is at issue.
Some good reads on the ball screens. I think that's where they got a lot of deflections and just some soft passing that Indiana's going to pick off as well. Yeah, I think I kind of struggled there. Got a little hot, got a little cold, especially to start this second half. I honestly subbed myself out of the game to get a quick breather.
A reporter stated bluntly, Caitlin Clark is hurting you by not taking that shot. That non-shot is a selfish play because she's doing it for herself to not have to deal with being called a ball hog. Oh no, I know it's tough to hear, but you're absolutely right. Contemplate it. Clark is dodging criticism as much as she is shots. Instead of doing what's best for the team, she is overly concerned with what other people might think. Furthermore, such mindset might be detrimental in the highly competitive realm of professional basketball. Even worse, though, is to come. Everything here isn't merely about Clark's own problems. It's about the domino effect those problems have on the entire squad. It feels like dominoes are falling when your star player begins to doubt herself. All of a sudden, everyone is questioning their assumptions. Put yourself in Clark's shoes. What are you thinking when you watch her miss that shot? If she doesn't trust herself, how can I trust her? Something like this has the potential to rock a team's very core, and morale is an important factor to consider. The mental game of basketball is just as important as the physical game. Everyone on the team may start to feel like they need to watch their step when the leader starts to display his or her weaknesses. When you're in the thick of things in the playoff hunt, that's not the kind of atmosphere that helps you succeed.
Assignment of Kelsey Mitchell right now. Clark, little step back.
You know, huge for our group. It's just one at a time. I thought we've done a really good job of that over these first two games.
Seconds to go. Here's Clark off the screen. The three-pointer is good.
Fans of Fever, nevertheless, should brace themselves for the terrifying part. The long-term effects of this hesitation to fire can be severe if it persists. We're not referring just a few of losses here. Here, the idea of not making the playoffs at all is being considered. Every shot matters in the WNBA because there is a hair's breadth between making it to the playoffs and sitting on the sidelines. Each choice has an impact. The difference between a championship run and an early season ending could lie in Clark's ability to overcome this confidence problem. Is there a way to fix this? I can't just urge Clark to just shoot the ball. Restoring faith in herself, her teammates, and her coach is the goal here. It's a journey, and you won't see results immediately. The Fever's playoff hopes are now being overshadowed by the sidelines, and here you thought Clark's problems were bad. Christie Sides is in for more trouble than just a miraculous fourth quarter recovery. The worst part is that it's about more than just winning and losing. It all boils down to one choice that could derail the team's progress. It is time to discuss Christie Sides. The head coach of the Fever is facing criticism for reasons other than a string of poor performances. We're talking about a method of coaching that has observers and followers baffled. A sportscaster even went to the extreme of calling a recent ruling one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in sports. Oh no. So why is everyone so angry about this? The preceding discussion of the timeout call is the crux of the matter. Those days of Sides calling a timeout when Clark had a golden opportunity to score are long gone. It seems that choice may have been more than a passing thought. Perhaps it's only a small sign of something far more serious. Contemplate it. You would think that a coach would go with her gut when she has a superstar like Caitlin Clark on her squad.
I'm proud of these girls, and you know, we have a tough stretch of games here early in the season. And I think this is going to be a good one to learn from. My hands a lot. Obviously need to get that down some, but you know, we'll live with it, and we survived the day. That's all that matters.
Caitlin, the space that you guys play in, your ability to run the floor, and your vision up the court is one of the things that everybody talks about your local.
That timeout call, though, the exact reverse is shouted out. To paraphrase Sides, I don't trust you to make the right decision here. The professional basketball scene is a toxic place for a lack of trust. Even worse, though, is to come. Some experts have even gone so far as to say that calling a timeout was a fireable offense. This is more than just constructive criticism. It is an outright vote of no confidence. You know you're in trouble as a coach when people use those words to characterize your decisions. You may be thinking, it's only one poor decision. In the end, we all mess up, don't we? The point is though, this isn't an exception. Sides' coaching style as a whole has been the target of growing criticism. There is mounting worry that her approach isn't getting better, despite the team's recent success. If the Fever want to make the playoffs, what does this signify? Things aren't looking good, I must say. A combination of a coach whose decisions could lose the team games and a top player who isn't feeling confident can lead to disastrous results. It's as if the captain is leading a ship whose crew doesn't believe in him and the compass is malfunctioning. Hold just a second. There's a ray of sunshine just around the corner. In spite of everyone's gripes, the squad has shown some promise in their performance in recent games. Imagine a flower attempting to open its petals on top of a bed of pebbles. It will require a lot of effort, but the promise is there. Can sides make a U-turn before it's too late? That is the burning question now. Time is of the essence, as each game contributes to the playoff race. A handful of victories won't be enough to turn this ship around. The confidence of her players, particularly Clark, must be restored by sides. She must prove that she is capable of making the correct decisions under pressure. The stress, too, must be considered. From now on, Sides' every move will be closely watched. The last straw might be one more major error. Imagine balancing precariously on a tightrope without a safety net. A single misstep would result in instant disaster. Then how can we fix it? Hiring a new coach isn't the only option though. The midseason may not be the best time for that kind of chaos. No, the Fever are in dire need of a genuine conversion.